Yes, guys, and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for yet another pre-match pump-up for today's Europa Conference League game. Tottenham versus MS Mura in the Europa Conference League, where I'll be bringing you right through the starting lineups when they drop, as soon as they drop, all the way through to the watch-along with, of course, your boys, Ben and Sim, the best duo on YouTube. So make sure you stay tuned for that, where, they'll be doubling up tonight and bringing you all the way through to the post-match fan show, where you guys hopefully will be coming on and celebrating a nice, easy win today. Look, team news is, guys, that, of course, Session and Bergwijn is out. We are at home, of course, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff. A little fact file on MS Mura for all you guys out there. They are Slovenian champions, guys. Slovenian champions last year, winning the league on it was goal difference, and of course sitting fifth in a 10-team league so far this season. They were founded only in 2012. Their ground only holds 3,782. So on the away leg, I believe we will be playing at Maribor Stadium. Of course, we have played Maribor before, and Dele Alli, if he does play today, he will make his 50th appearance for Tottenham in all European competitions. So a landmark for Dele Alli. But look, guys, I just want to say before we start bringing on the guest, I know there's a lot of bad feeling around at the minute. But look, today we have to put the North London Derby behind us. We have to get back on the road, and the road to fucking Tirana, where, of course, we're going to get there to the Europa Conference League final. I absolutely cannot wait to see us in the Europa Conference League final. And today is the day where we start, and hopefully we can push on, win today, win against Aston Villa, go get the international break over and done with, and then back. At the end of the day, look, Tottenham Hotspur, it's the greatest club in world football to all of us, guys. So let's get behind the boys today, and let's get the 3 points. Like I said, let's get back on the road to Tirana. But look, let's bring on the first guest. The first guest is a man, the myth, the legend. It's Philip Brady. Philip, my man, how are you keeping?
I'm good, yeah. Just waiting for this thing to kick off tonight now, and expecting a much, much better performance than we've been getting lately, and hopefully a big win, which will ease the tension a little bit.
Yeah, look, it should be raining goals out there today. It really should be. Look, let's be honest. I don't mean to be disrespectful, right? But they're nobody in terms of European football. As long as the attitude is right today, Philip, we should get the win, surely, and it should be raining goals.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I want to see tonight is, from the first kickoff, get at them. With pace, with speed. Don't be tapping the ball around in their own half for 15 seconds before thinking of lumping it up high up to Harry Kane or whoever plays up front. Get at them. Get the ball down on the ground. Use Brian Hill if he's playing. Scare the living daylights out of them. Because these guys will not be used to the kind of pace the Premiership is played at. And I mean, if we don't win by at least 3 goals tonight, I will be extremely disappointed. And I think we will. We might even go better than that.
Yeah, look, hopefully it's 4, 5, 6 tonight, Philip. That would be very nice, I have to say. They certainly owe us a few goals, that's for sure. But look, Nuno in his press conference, he did allude to that he will be making changes to the first 11. First of all, do you think that Nuno should be going with a team that he sees capable going forward and putting the sort of formation and style out there he wants to play, capable going forward? Or do you think it would be like some of the fringe players coming in tonight?
Well, I think it'll be okay. He's not going to make the same mistake that he made against Paco Ferreira in the first game by not really playing any of the senior players except Winks, Davies, and Lo Celso. I think it'll be a mixture of strength and experience, strength and youth tonight, with enough experience on the bench, just in case things don't go right, that he can bring somebody off the bench to change things. But certainly, I'm expecting a strongish team, maybe something along the lines that played against Rennes there a couple of weeks ago.
So who would you like to see come in tonight, Philip?
I'd like to see Romero playing from the start. I'd like to see all our new summer signings starting for a start. Those 4 have to start. And I think I didn't think Harry Kane would play against Rennes. I don't think he'll play tonight. I'd say hopefully Dane Scarlett gets a look in tonight. And maybe some of the other lads like Markande and Jack Clark and Sean Devine get maybe on the bench. But The midfield, the two in midfield is going to be interesting. I don't think Ndombele will feature tonight. I think he's probably played so many matches in recent weeks he mightn't be able to. Probably won't play Højbjerg, but I think Skip should start. Skip didn't start the last couple of matches, so he should be in there. And I have a feeling we mightn't like it, but Harry Winks will probably feature tonight as well.
Yeah, no, probably. Look, we probably know what happens there. But look, what about Brian Hill? Are you a believer? He was in the press conference. He's definitely a start today.
Oh yeah, he has to start. He has to start and get the ball out to him at every given occasion. Because I mean, he's he should be able to tear shreds off this defense tonight. He should be able to, and as long as there's somebody on the ball in the middle to put away the chances he's going to create, I'm really looking forward to seeing him playing tonight. I think he could really flourish against a team like this who won't know what hit them but after 90 minutes with a bit of luck.
No, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Look, if Kane weren't to start, would you be do you back Dane Scarlett to maybe get the goals needed tonight?
Yeah, why not? Why not? It wouldn't be. He's played before in the conference. Okay, he got no service in the first match, but if that can be rectified tonight, and I would fancy him to bag a goal or two, providing he gets the service, obviously.
No, 100%. I absolutely love it. And look, Philip, the Europa Conference League. Look, a lot of people are disrespecting it and everything else. But look, we want to avoid a shock tonight. There's been shocks this week. Benfica slapping Barcelona, Sheriff slapping Madrid. How do we avoid this shock tonight?
Yeah, we don't be overconfident. We don't be complacent. We treat this team tonight as if we're playing Liverpool or Man City or Chelsea. We go out there and we get at them from the very start. We don't take them for granted because, let's face it, this is one of the biggest matches of their history. They're only going for the last 9 years. They won't have many bigger matches than tonight. They have absolutely nothing to lose. So they could be, they might pose a threat on occasions, but like our defense and the skill of the experience of our players should be enough to hold them. I mean, I don't think there's one player on their team I've even heard of before. So we have to win well tonight.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Look, there's a lot of talk about the players not playing for Nuno. Not playing for him, but they don't like his man management. They find him cold, etc. What's your views on this, Philip?
Yeah, there's something not quite right there. I mean, maybe after you think after Pochettino, who really treated every member of the team like he was his own brother, then we went to Mourinho, who would have been a bit more distant. I'd expected maybe Nuno coming from a club like a homely club like Wolves to be a little bit more user friendly, if that's the word I'm seeking for. If he is a bit distant, the players are going to have to knuckle down to get on with it. And listen to what he's saying. After all, he's the boss. For how long he's going to be there, we have to back him, and the players have to back him because we don't want another situation where we've been through 4 managers in less than 2 years, which would be the case if Levy got trigger happy. Like a night like tonight is a banana skin. If we lose this tonight, not that we're not even going to contemplate losing it, but just say we did. Like that's what Real Madrid said against Sheriff, and look what happened to them.
Yeah.
Nuno is going to be on a very, very slippy wicket. He's going to, he'll be fearing for his job. So the team has got to buck up tonight, get behind the team, get the fans behind them.
Yeah.
A good win tonight will ease the tension. It'll not eliminate it. That's still going to be there until we get a few good league wins behind us. But oak trees grow from small acorns, and let's plant the acorn tonight, and let's see the oak tree come after that.
Absolutely love that quote. Absolutely love it. Someone write that down for me. I absolutely love it. Big up, Philip. Great quote. No, look, it's about time we turn this form around, and it has to be done tonight. It has to be done in style, and it has to be done with goals. Like you said, Philip, they have to try and amend some of the bridges with the fans, and stuff like that. So hopefully it does happen. What sort of formation would you like to see Nuno apply today? Look, for me, I don't think the 4-3-3 works. I would rather go with a 4-2-3-1 or a 5-2-3 or something like that. What formation do you think Nuno will go with today? Because he has got to go both so far in the Europa Conference League.
He has to go with an attacking formation. So, I mean, I would say 4-3-2-1. I think will probably be it. Maybe reverting to a 5-2-3 whenever if we're on top, if we're dominating. Because let's face it, I mean, we should be having 75% possession tonight. If we don't have that sort of stats, there's something wrong. We can't sit back and let these crowd come onto us. We've got to go for them from the very minute the whistle goes at the start. Get at them. Score a goal in the first few minutes. Let's unnerve them. And then, he can play 1-7-2 if he likes after that, 1-2-7 after that. Just bomb forward. Do the Aussie Idealist trick of the famous 5, And listen, but no mercy tonight. If we're winning 6-0, go for 7. Absolutely no mercy. We've got to show them a bit of ruthless streak, and don't be feeling sorry for them. So,
do we have that ruthless streak in us, Philip?
No.
Look,
I don't think so, but you never know. If they smell blood tonight and get a few early goals, I mean, maybe it'll come back a little bit. We do not have the ruthless streak.
Who do you want to see?
I don't think we ever had a ruthless streak.
Yeah, that's true. But who do you want to see in amongst the goals today, Philip? Throw some names out there.
As I said, if Dane Scarlett plays, I want to see him score. If Harry Kane plays, I want him to score a hat-trick at least. Get the confidence back up a bit. Brian Hill, I'd like to see get a goal. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if one of the fullbacks weighed in with something tonight as well. Be it Emerson or
Ben Davies.
I don't think he's fit. I heard some mention he was missing from the training yesterday. So maybe he's not fit. So you never know what we might have to do. We might have to play Reguilon, or maybe one of the youngsters might come in there.
No, you just couldn't see him. He was standing there with his balaclava on, robbing and living. That's what he was doing. You just couldn't see him, Philip.
Oh, no, I'll tell you, he was away getting fitted for his dress suit for the James Bond movie. That's what he was doing,
Yeah, that was probably it, getting the hair done right, coming back. Actually, what do you think of that? Look, after a North London derby, all the players going out, well, not all of them, but some of the players going out to a James Bond premiere. Look, I get the argument that they should be allowed to live their life in that, but Philip, back in the day, that would never have happened, would it?
Well, especially after getting stumped by Arsenal like we did. If I was a Spurs player, I would have kept my head down, wouldn't be seen out for a week, just in case somebody recognised me, started throwing abuse at me. So, no, well, I mean, okay, they have to live their life, and it's all publicity and, image rights and what have you. So, like, I suppose that they can do whatever they bloody well like, but as long as it does not interfere with their training or their match preparations, then so what? But it did get a bit angry now seeing them sitting there in their monkey suits, like as if they're auditioning for jobs as bouncers. Mind you, some of them, that's all they're good for. But no, live and let live. But as long as it doesn't interfere with their game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Big up, Josh RG. Welcome to Goldman, man. I hope to see you come on here, or else on the post-match fan show. The link for all channel members is up in the community section, guys, for everybody. So get onto the community section, click on the link, come on and have your say. Make sure everyone is smashing that like button. Make sure everyone is smashing that subscribe button. The big push for 100K is on. I'm not going to stop until I see Ben polishing that plaque in the studio behind him every single day before a stream. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. And everybody, feel free to get in a super chat or two to help the boys on their journey. But Philip, back to the game. Look, Galini will be in goals. He's had a few questionable moments so far. What's your thoughts on Galini so far? Oh, Philip, you there?
Yeah, but I mean, okay, he's new to the club. He's learning his trade. He's reputed to be a very good goalkeeper. He's made a couple of little errors, mainly just. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
This link is a little bit slow, I think, actually, tonight.
Oh, no, go on.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, look, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I mean, he's okay. I mean, whether he's Hugo, whether he's Hugo's success, yeah, whether he's Hugo's successor or not, who knows?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And come here. What's your score
but I can hear you. Yeah.
What's your score prediction for tonight's game? Well, look, guys, I think we're having a few connection issues there. So, look, a massive thank you to Philip for coming on. I really do appreciate it, but we'll keep moving. Look, the next guest in the window, the next guest coming up is Jack Kenickie from Flat Cap Your Talk. Let's bring him on. Jack, my man, how are we? How are we? You excited for today's game? You pumped up? I know it's only, NS Mura, but surely it's a team we should be spanking tonight, Jack. Oh, I can't hear you, Jacko.
I muted myself. Sorry, Dave. Muted myself. I'll start over. I was
Oh,
going to
there you
say
are, Jack.
apologies.
Jack. He's back. He's back.
I muted myself. I apologize.
Jacko, you absolutely pumped for today's game, my man?
I am, Dave, especially after what Philip just said earlier. I thought he actually set the tone quite well, David. I think he said everything perfectly there. Honestly, didn't waste a word, maybe, like I wanted to say. And I felt like, as well, we're probably reminded that no matter the form, no matter the occasion, we have to realize that, this is just a team that we just have to be smacking. Like maybe Philip was saying, it should be probably at least 2-0 by halftime. I heard the 75% possession as well from him. I would say that's a good metric, to kind of base your performance off of as well. It's just, David, even this season as well, despite them winning the league last season in the Slovenian league, which again, I mean, credit to them, they only can have such a ceiling, but you kind of think about it this season, I think they're fifth in the league, fifth in their own league after only winning it last season. They're even not in the best of form. I just feel like what Philip just said, it kind of just gave me that bit of bit of motivation that we are at the end of the day. We're Tottenham Hotspur, David. This should just be an absolute smacking, especially at home as well. I mean, come on, David. Like it's at home as well. It just should be an absolute smacking by halftime.
No, it should be. And look, some people may call us deluded, looking for a smacking today after previous results. But look, we have to get back on the road at some stage, and we have to try and progress and find a way forward. And look, today is the day to do it. Let's get the win today. Hopefully, get a result against Aston Villa. And then international break and take it from there. Hopefully, it gives Nuno maybe a small bit of time to work with one or two individuals, and things can progress going forward. But look, Jack, Nuno, like I said, he alluded to in his press conference, he's going to make changes today. What changes do you think we'll see?
I mean, the changes might include maybe probably a few midfield changes. Obviously, we probably won't be seeing a player like Højbjerg maybe used in a match like this, considering, again, he played practically 60, 70 matches, I think, in the entire calendar year last season. And then you also consider that maybe someone like Tanguy, he can only be used so sparingly because of the fitness and or even just his attitude, you might even say as well, as much as that pains me to say. And maybe a change as well. Of course, Brian Hill didn't feature in the North London Derby, maybe for good reason. But then at the same time, you probably say this is another occasion for him probably to wow the fans, especially again at home, David. I'll probably stress that. I think Brian Hill, if he's able to maybe bring a few more Gleavers into the building, a few more Gleavers into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I think that's all good at the end of the night. And then maybe potentially we might see, hopefully, someone like Dane Scarlett coming into the side. I feel like Dane Scarlett was really, really, I wouldn't, it was just hard to watch him again in that first leg against Paços de Ferreira, Dave. It just felt like he was making all the right runs. He was making all the right movement and just wasn't really being hit. He wasn't really even being looked at by the likes of maybe players like Harry Winks and even Gio Lo Celso, I think, if I can remember correctly, in that match. So I would just say, hopefully, Dane Scarlett, as much as maybe Harry Kane continues to have to need to prove himself to the fans, I would just say that, in the case of Dane Scarlett, I would just like to see him instead of Harry Kane. I think he only played in the last match. I think it was on the 27th of September, Dave, for the under 23s. I think he came off early. I think that suggests he probably should be playing in this match. I'd like to see another one, like maybe Marcondes as well, for this match. But, I just personally, I kind of agree with maybe what you've said before, where maybe Nuno has to find the right squad, find the right players that believe in his message, believe in him, even believe in the tactics. And I would just say probably Marcondes, Dane Scarlett, and maybe potentially another young, maybe midfielder in the under 23s that I'd like to see feature. But I would just say, there's only so many, changes he can make without being too conservative or, maybe too open, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Look, for me, I don't like saying this. I want to give every manager, time to get their feet in under the door and stuff like that. But his job is on the line right now. And for me, if my job was on the line, I'd be putting out there, what I believe in going forward. Maybe take out a few players that have let you down. Interested about Dane Scarlett. Look, I really do hope he can find a couple of goals today. Find his feet and hit the ground running. It'll be a good platform for him to build off. Of course, Gill, I think he's going to be important today, Jack. Going forward. I really do. I think he's the one that I think would definitely be able to create the chances for other players. But look, as long as the midfield is put in behind him to be able to get him to the ball. Would you agree with what Philip was saying when he came on, Jack? That basically, look, it's all about starting fast tonight. Going at them early, getting kind of a couple of goals, and then after that, sit back in cruise control.
I think it's David. It's sadly a game where it's probably we have very high expectations because we should be absolutely smacking him. And I'll stress it again. I think that's what Philip was kind of saying is like. Despite the form, despite this being, a Slovenian side and that has won the league last season, you would just think that, this just needs to be a match where we probably set the tone for ourselves very quickly, get a bit of confidence back, get a bit of momentum back, you might say. And it needs to then be starting out strong. We need to start out strong because if we start slow, maybe like Philip was saying, passing around the back for 15 seconds without really doing anything significant, I would really say that would hurt us. That would really hurt us and just hurt the momentum, maybe even hurt kind of I would say probably any potential at maybe the fans kind of getting behind the squad or the manager again. I just think we need to start quickly, start well. I would like to see a goal maybe within the first 20 minutes. Then potentially, like I said before, maybe another goal, maybe by halftime as well. I'd love to be 2-0 up because I think that would just set the tone for the rest of the match. And then we can cruise control from there. Maybe grab a third, a fourth, maybe who knows, maybe more from there. But I just think the first half is actually crucial compared to other matches that we played. I actually expect us to be at least 2-0 up by halftime. If we're not 2-0 up by halftime, we can't do that cruise control that you're talking about. And I think also with cruise control, maybe that would just, again, bring a bit of, comfort into the side, a bit of confidence in some of these players that really desperately need it at this rate, Dave. And even the fans desperately need it too. So I would like to be 2-0 up by halftime. I'll stress that again.
No, 100%. I'm the same. But look, Jack, a lot of the blame is being labeled at Nuno's door. How much of the responsibility do these players have to take? And, how much is on them to perform today? Because, look, for me, we all know who the biggest problem is, and that's upstairs. That's at boardroom level, ownership level, and stuff like that. But, look, Nuno, I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now, but how much of a responsibility these players have to take because they are taking the piss.
I think, David, maybe you could read the lineup. I think the lineup just came out maybe before.
Oh, it's out already? Oh, yeah, the lineup is out,
There's
guys.
no picture for it, though.
Kenickie is in goals. Doherty at right back. Romero and Rodin at centre back with Reguilon at left back. He's gone with Dele Alli, Skip and Winks in midfield. Lo Celso, Scarlett and Gill. So, look, I'm not sure what to make of that, but I'll read it out again. Galini in goals, Doherty at right back, Reguilon at left back, centre-back partnership of Romero and Rodin. I actually would say the midfield three would be Skip, Winks and Lo Celso, with Dele out one side, probably Hill out the other, and Dame Mbappe up front. Huge night for Scarlett tonight, Jacko.
Yeah, huge night for Scarlett. This is probably what I wanted, though, Dave. And I would say, again, if Scarlett were to continue the runs and continue the movement that I said he did in that Passos de Ferreira leg, the first leg where we were away from home, I thought he was doing everything right. It was just the players just refused to look up, Dave. The players refused to play him. They refused to see the movement that he was making. And maybe at home, you're thinking, as well, this should be a match where they need to see Dane Scarlett, making those movements. He's very different from Harry Kane, of course, in that sense. I mean, we call him over at the Irish Hotspur Starlet Mbappe, and that's because, he has a bit of that Mbappe movement to a degree where he likes to be in behind the defender, likes to be on the defender's shoulder, Dave, especially if, let's say, they were playing any sort of a high line maybe in the beginning of the match, that he would love to take advantage of that. And then hopefully there are enough, quality players on the side, which I would say, there are plenty of Winks fans. There are plenty of people who like Lo Celso, Dele, and whatnot. If they're not able to find, Scarlett and some of those runs, I would say that would say a whole lot more about them than it would about Scarlett, in my opinion, because I think so far he hasn't necessarily put too much of a foot wrong. Like I said, we're only basing this off of so many matches that he's played for us. But I feel like Scarlett, if he just makes the right runs, continues to move, and continues to maybe show what he's proven to us in the preseason as well as in the Europa Conference League, I really would like to. I'd like to see him, at least grab a goal, because I feel like he probably deserves it at this rate. I think he was really, held out to dry in that first leg against Pasha State Ferreira. So hopefully players like Lo Celso, Winks, Skippy, even, and Deli, will be able to at least find him in the box, or you find him in behind and whatnot. So it is a big game for Scarlett, but it says a lot more about the other players, whether they can't find him.
No, 100%. Look, with Starlet, then Mbappe. Look, for me, I do think, look, he makes very intelligent runs. We've all seen that in some of the Europa Conference League games he came, or the Europa League games he came on last season, some of the preseason and stuff like that. He makes very good runs. It's now about trying to find him. But look, Jack, moving on to two other players I want to talk about. Doherty, Winks, they've kind of been isolated from the squad the last few games and that. What do you want to see from these guys tonight? What do they have to do to even try and gain a bit of respect back from some of the fans?
In the case of Doherty, maybe I'll address that first. We've seen time and time again that this guy really does struggle in a back four. I would say, though, at the end of the day, it is, again, against, NS Mura. It's a Slovenian side, that, again, has even struggled in their own league this season, despite winning the league last season. So if Doherty can't even perform in a back four in this situation, I think you probably would never put him in a back four ever again. Even at times when we played the back three, back five, he hasn't really proven very much, hasn't done very much maybe to impress us. And then, I just say Doherty is just one of those examples, Dave, where if he can't perform against a side like this, I mean, I don't really know what he's even doing at this club in general. I think he's probably stealing wages at that rate. And then going on to maybe Winks, I think as many people, rate Winks, Dave, I think, again, it's a certain side where maybe a lot of these players should be absolutely dominating, should absolutely find lots of freedom, should find lots of comfort playing against a side like this. And if someone like Winks, who to a degree, it doesn't even seem like he's playing the holding midfield role, Dave, he's going to be playing maybe a bit of that tempo setter role. And if he fails to do that, Dave, again, I don't have a lot of excuses for him, because it is NS Mura, and it should be, a team that we should be at least 2-3-0 up by halftime. And if that's not the case, then I would probably be looking at the usual suspects, as maybe we might call them, which is probably Doherty and Harry Winks. And yeah, I would say this is actually maybe a bit pressure on them, just to be able to show that at least they're above this level, Dave. At least they're above this level.
Well, I mean, if they can't stand up to the pressure tonight, honestly, get rid of them. But look, another player I want to touch on before I talk a bit about Dele Alli with you is Lo Celso. Look, he's one that really divides opinion. A lot of people reckon, he's really talented and he will come good. A lot of people are already writing him off. Where do you stand on Lo Celso? And again, what do you think he has to do more of, Jack? What does he have to do more of to impress us?
I think he has to somehow tone back into that, Real Betis kind of form. And I don't know how we do that, because a lot of people have said he's played as a number 10 there. A lot of people said he played as a number 8. Recently, he's been kind of a deputized right winger to a degree, kind of an inverted right winger. It's hard to know even what Gio Lo Celso's position anymore is, but I would just say I think he's shown moments of quality where you kind of can see why we went after the guy. And even when you still look at the numbers that he produced at Real Betis, and also the fact that he came from a PSG academy where he was very, very highly rated over at PSG as well when he originally came there, you can see that, why maybe Spurs originally went after him. But ever since he's came to this club, Dave, I mean, he had that nice spell of form when we didn't have any holding midfielders, any tempo setters, and he actually did quite well in that role. But ever since then, he's actually really unimpressed and been quite unremarkable. And I wouldn't say as much as I was very harsh on, Doherty and Winks and whatnot, Dave, I feel like Gio, I wouldn't be that harsh about it. I still feel like you could give him a bit more time. But again, this should be a match where if he's supposed to be, the world-class player that maybe some people have called him before he came to Spurs, I think this is, again, a huge match for him to prove himself as at least being worth, the wages that he's on, at least being worth the transfer fee that we got him in for and whatnot. Because again, if he fails to impress in a match like this, be a lot of question marks about the guy, a lot of question marks. And if he's playing that inverted right wing, Dave, I could see him doing, I don't even know. I feel like he should be able to do fine in just almost any position on the field again against this sort of squad. So I don't even want to say, what position he should be preferred in, because again, this is only NS Mura, Dave. At the end of the day, this should be a club where he should absolutely dominate and dictate the tempo.
Lo Celso, I still can't get the images of him running the ball out and play against Leeds last season. Honestly, it gives me nightmares. Just the lineup is on screen here, guys. I'll run through it one more time. It's Galini in goals, Doherty at right back, Romero Roden at centre back, Sergi Reguilon at left back. We've got Dele Marley, captain of the team today. We've got Ollie Skip, we've got Harry Winks, we've got Gio Lavano Lasoso, and we have Brian Imagleaver, and we have Dane Mbappe Scarlett up front. On the bench, we have young Austin, who spent the last season out on loan at the MLS, Højbjerg, Sanchez, Sonny, Kane, Emerson, Dyer, Tanganga, Lucas, Ndombele, White, and Amole. Look, the only ones I want to see coming off the bench probably is White and Amole. The rest, the job should be done. I don't want to see Højbjerg, Kane, Son. Look, maybe Sanchez, Dyer, don't really care about one of them coming on. I don't want to see Højbjerg coming on, Lucas. So, look, we shouldn't have to use the bench tonight, that's for sure. But look, Dele Alli, Jack, making his 50th appearance tonight for Tottenham in all European competitions. I think he's only the 8th player to do so, I believe. Of course, captain today. What a moment for Dele Alli.
Big moment for Dele Alli. Maybe also considering that, he's been at this club such a long time that, it's quite surprising he's now reached that number of appearances, in European competitions, David. And him captaining the side now, which is, I'm not necessarily too disappointed in. I think it could maybe be a bit of responsibility that, who knows, he might actually receive quite well. He hasn't had that responsibility or even that image, you might say, before. Who knows? He might actually take it, take it in stride. Yeah. But considering his last performance, I know a lot of people were saying it was the instructions from Nuno, asking him to, be right next to Harry Kane for the knockdowns and whatnot. But it was a bit similar to Tanguy, where just the lack of effort of tracking back, how much he was exposing the midfield, how much he seemed to be abandoning maybe any sort of effort that, is expected in the North London Derby, Dave. Potentially, again, another player that probably has a lot to prove to a degree in this match. And, there's only such a high bar that he needs to pass, Dave. So I would just say Dele Alli, especially now wearing the captain's armband, I just really hope he can prove us right. I really hope he can prove us right, because again, if he were to fail to impress or be unremarkable, let's say in this match, especially wearing the captain's armband, again, lots of questions would arise, lots of question marks would arise for me. But I feel like maybe this added responsibility, Dave, maybe now that he's wearing also the captain's armband, I have a feeling maybe that it is going to be Gio Lo Celso as that inverted right winger, and it is going to be Dele Alli maybe playing a bit ahead of probably Skippy and Winks. And to a degree, you might say that might be his preferred position. So again, Dave, it's all kind of set up for Dele Alli in this match. And if he were to fail to impress, again, question marks, very big question marks. But I actually wish Dele Alli the best. I was on Paxton Road TV the other night, and I was kind of diving very deep into what Dele Alli is trying to do this season. He's trying to evolve into, I think, a different type of player, a box-to-box midfielder of sorts, improving his fitness. And he really has improved his fitness, but it seems like the quality has actually taken a bit of a dip, and some of the technical ability has taken a dip. And maybe against, again, a side like NS Mura, Dave, hopefully that technical ability will shine.
No, 100%. I think so. Big up Tottenham Tantrum with the big thumbs up in the super sticker. What a man! Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Everyone else, feel free to get the super chats in, guys, and I will get onto them. I will get them read out. Look, Jack, I know you have a channel. Why don't you give it a quick plug?
Everybody can find me over at David and I's, second channel from the Irish Hotspur. It is Flat Cap Euro Talk. Recently, I've been kind of switching towards a lot of scout reports, and it's especially been scout reports that I feel like Spurs fans should, have probably considered that we should have gone after. Maybe a bit of kind of hindsight kind of signings, you might say, Dave, maybe players that we should have taken an interest with, maybe under this new Paratici reign. Hopefully, maybe eventually Fabio might take a look at some of these players that we've missed out on. Recently, I just put out a Lee Kong-in scout report. David and I gave a bit of highlight reactions to it as well. Lots of guttural noises, lots of jumping out of the chair and whatnot. And it was absolutely just, it's been on fire so far, this video. A lot of people really seem to like it, especially certain Korean players that, we've been linked with in the past. And so everybody just head on over to Flat Cap Euro Talk if you're looking for scout reports and kind of highlight reactions to certain players that, Spurs have been linked with in the past. And as well, I always come out with a weekend watch list every week for the matches that, outside of the Spurs match that you should take a look at. Maybe a bit of therapeutic kind of football, you might say. Always included every week with that. And then as well, I do plenty of other content, including something with Shamu Van Woo from the Irish Hotspur as well, called Itch of the Week. But everybody, check out the scout reports. I really do think you should, especially the Lee Kong-in one has done really well so far, and I've really been proud of it with David and I. And so please just check out maybe some of these scout reports that David and I will continue to come out with. Next one is Pape Matasar, which David and I did our own scout report way back in the day for the archives when we just signed him, kind of do a new rendition of it. So everybody just head on over to Flat Cap Euro Talk, I would say, just for that sister channel of David and I's.
No, 100%. Everybody get over there and check it out. But look, Jack, before I let you go, I do want your score prediction. And I want you to tell everyone out there why they need to be pumped up about this game today.
Score prediction, Dave. I'm going to go for the 4-0 just because I think we should at least have 2 goals by halftime and then maybe grab another 2. And then why should they be pumped up after this match, Dave? It's because it should be a side that we should absolutely stomp. It really should be a side that we should stomp. Probably going to be seeing Hill just turning players left and right, probably putting them in washing machines, you might say. A bit of kind of the Tongi factor where they just put him the nice spin cycle, where probably some of these players, they won't even realize whether they're in England or Slovenia, with some of the skills that maybe Hill might be pulling off. Yeah. And then as well, it's the opportunity for maybe Dane Scarlett, or we might say Dane Bappe, to get in behind Dave, maybe put 2 past the goalkeeper, even maybe around him as well, maybe David Harris style. And so everybody just know that this is the opportunity for tons of players to kind of earn back a bit of trust, earn back a bit of confidence. Spurs fans are going to be earning back some confidence as well, maybe after this match. I would just say it's only going to go up from here, hopefully. And if it doesn't, then I don't know. It just says a lot about the players. But I will say, I think this is the opportunity for everybody to maybe earn a bit of that respect back from the fans. And so there it is, Dave.
100%. But look, Jack, I want you to wait. It's time to wake up the Brooklyn neighborhood. Give me the scream. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Absolutely love it. That's what I hear. Big up, Jack. Jack coming on, getting everyone pumped up. Thank you so much, my man. I'll see you again soon.
Appreciate you, brother.
See you, Jack. I absolutely love it, guys. Everyone that comes on, Jack has set the tempo, the noise decibels people have to reach. So look, we have a guy on next, and he's definitely going to be able to outscream Jack. So let's get him on. It's Mr. Dagul. Mr. Dagul, my man, how are things?
Things are good, buddy. How are you? How are you, David?
Yeah, I'm good. Look, Tottenham are playing. I'm always good when Spurs are on the box, lad.
What's that? Sorry, David, there's a bit of background noise.
Oh, I'm just saying I'm always good when Tottenham are on the box, lad. I'm always good when Tottenham are on the TV, It's there's no better time to be alive. It doesn't matter how big or how small the game is. But Brian, look, what's your thoughts on tonight's game? Are you excited? Are you pumped up?
I'm excited Spurs are playing. I wouldn't say I'm pumped up. This should be a walk in the park. If it should be a walk in the park, but we'll have to wait and see. But like you, I always enjoy the build up and getting ready to watch Spurs. It's the 90 minutes that kicks off that I'm not intending to enjoy at the moment.
No, I couldn't agree more than that. To be fair, that is a fair analysis. That's a great analysis, I have to say. But look, Brian, you've seen the starting lineup. What's your thoughts on the starting lineup?
I'm absolutely delighted that Scarlett's starting. Absolutely over the moon. I've been calling it for a while. And it's a good game to bring him in at home against, let's say, the weakest team in the table or in our group. Sorry, to bring him in. So I'm excited for that. Obviously, to get to see a bit more of Brian Hill is going to be great. But again, it's not really a judge of what he can do. It's against these weakened teams, but it's good for him to get minutes. I really don't understand with Matt Doherty. I understand him playing, but he plays well as a right wing back, not as a right back.
Yeah.
This was the perfect time to experiment with the back three.
Yep.
And we haven't done it. And does this mean now that Romero and Rodon are the starting two at the back? Because I'd like, if it's going to be Rodon from the Premier League onwards, I'd like him to get a feel with a central defender that he's going to get a partnership with.
Yeah.
So does this mean it's Rodon and Romero going forward?
Do you know, that's a great point, Brian. To be honest with you, I would like it to be Romero and Rodon going forward. That would be my preferred two if we were playing four at the back. Look, with Rodon, I think anytime he's played in the Tottenham jersey, I actually think he's probably, even last year, I'd probably say he was our best defender, so I think he deserves to play. Look, he's been unfortunate with injury and that, but I think now that he's back fit, I think he deserves to play in there beside Romero. Great point. But just touching back on Dane Bappe, Brian, and you have to call him Dane Bappe just for me. Okay. When it comes with Dane Bappe, look, it's all well and good putting him in the team, giving him minutes, but do you trust that midfield to be able to get him the ball?
I trust Ollie Skip to be able to do it. Dele, I don't even want to talk about Dele anymore. You know my feelings on Dele. I'm done. And then it leaves me with someone you don't want to talk about. So listen, I think the main part of the game today is going to be to try and get the ball to Brian Hill. I think it's like Ginola when we had Ginola attacking. It's like get the ball to Ginola and let him do what he does. Lo Celso needs a big game today. So maybe he can. So you look at a lot of the. I mean, Skip's range of passing is fantastic.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can start spraying it about a bit. But the other two, I wouldn't trust as far as I could throw them. So it's kind of get the ball to Lo Celso and Scarlett, Lo Celso and Hill, and let them do what they got to do.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking on Brian Hill, look, rightly so. Some people are saying it's probably too soon for the kid. Look, there's people like me who's saying, look, if you're good enough, you're old enough, throw him in. We bought these players to try and improve the first 11. Are you a believer, Brian? Are you a believer?
With Scott, you know how long I've been banging on the drum for Scarlett, saying if you're young enough or you're old enough, you could, whatever that bloody saying is. And I've likened him to Michael Owen and everything. We know what happened there. Now, Brian Hill, I think, will become a fantastic talent. But what I've said, and I'm not comparing him to this player when I say it, I think we need to treat him like Ronaldo treated United when they first had him. Bring him in gradually, and then when he's ready, let him go. Like started. We can't keep saying, like he came on against Arsenal and played. He had a great second half, but we can't just say, do you know what? You're our only hope right now. All the pressure is on you. So I think I do believe that he is going to turn into something special and quite special, but I don't want us to force it. I want him to gradually get into it and use him correctly. But the way we're playing right now is kind of like it's being thrust upon him.
Yeah, it is. It does seem like that. And look, it's probably not fair on the guy because he was alluding that Nuno wanted him to bulk up a bit. You know what I mean? So that he needs time to be able to do that and be able to train at at the way of being bulked up and stuff like that. So it is a bit unfair, but unfortunately, it's the times we're in, Brian, isn't it? It's the time we're in. So, look, it is what it is. But honestly, I'm a big believer of this guy. For me, I think he's the answer to Luka Modric. I think he's a mix between Modric and Ginola. And I really do think this guy has the natural raw talent to be able to be a real baller for Tottenham Hotspur. I really do believe it. Look, I know you said you didn't want to touch on it. But look, Dele Alli, Brian, 50th appearance for Tottenham tonight in European football. He's captain. It is a good night for Dele Alli. It is a special night for him, no?
It's a special night for him to run around the pitch and clock up 11 kilometres and do absolutely nothing. So well done on your 50th international cap for being the most person that has run out the most yardage, but done absolutely nothing with it. I mean, if you look at that lineup right now, I mean, he does look like the only person that could actually be the captain, which is so scary.
Yeah.
If you base it on experience and whatever, and longevity, that's quite concerning. Listen, I've had enough of this guy. I've made my feelings very, very clear on him. He's had 3 years of doing nothing. We picked him up because he's got a six-pack and went to Dubai, and he's now extra fit. And then he had a good performance in defence against Man City. He scored a penalty against Wolves. And apart from a great tackle at Crystal Palace, what else has he done this season?
Yeah. Well, he set up Harry Kane against Wolves.
Okay. I think someone said that in the back end as well.
No, but I do agree with you. I do agree.
He's done four things. Amazing.
No, I have to say, I do tend to agree with you. Look, I haven't been impressed with him. I just haven't been impressed with him. He hasn't done enough. Look, there are arguments, we're not playing in his best position, but there's also arguments, does he deserve just to walk back in after being MIA for two and a bit years? So it's a tough one. But look, Brian, if we don't perform today, just hypothetically, I think we will, but just entertain me. If we don't perform today, who's it on? Is it on the players? Is it on Nuno? Now, I know where you're going to get to with this. 100%, no problem. Go for it. But just in terms of what's on the pitch, who does it fall to?
Okay, so listen, I'm going to stay away from Mr. Obvious Contender.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's completely.
No, I'm going to try and stay away from him because all roads lead back to him anyway. Listen, so if this falls flat on our face now, you got to look at the players, and you've got to be looking at, like we've just said, Dele for a big performance. You've got people in there that need a big performance, and Lo Celso. a Romero who now needs to. I know he hasn't had the first team, and I think he will start getting it, but he's got to start showing why we spent 50 million. Reguilon, Jesus Christ, he played well against Man City, and then the rest of the season he's disappeared. He needs a big performance, but we're hearing all these things that like Nuno is losing the dressing room already. I think you're going to have to blame. You're going to have to blame the whole thing. There is no point of blame like the players or the manager. We now need to look at this combined. It's not acceptable if we don't have a good performance.
Yeah. Look, for me, I'll be honest with you, I'll put more of the blame on the players because some of them have been here longer than Nuno and that. In fact, the majority of them have been. But I do put obviously some at the manager's door if that were the case. But look, I don't think it will be. Look, we should be slapping these. These are nobody in terms of European football. Brian, obviously, look, we have a strong bench there. Surely we don't want to see any of them names on the bench. Kane, Son, Højbjerg, Lucas, Ndombele, Tanganga. Surely you don't want to be seeing any of them come off the bench tonight.
You know what? If any of them come on, I want to see Harry Kane on because he needs some goals to get his confidence up. He needs some minutes, especially. I mean, this Villa game is so crucial. I mean, forget what happens here tonight. If it all goes south against Villa, the knives are going to be out and going into an international break. The media are going to have a field day. So if anyone, I wouldn't mind. I really want to see if we could revert to a 5-3-2 or a 3-5, whatever way you want to look at it, and have Kane play with Scarlett for a bit, where Kane can drop off and do the Teddy Sheringham, and give Scarlett the balls that he needs. So I think Scarlett playing alongside Kane will do a lot for him. He's got to learn playing with him. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. Højbjerg, I don't even want him on the bench. He needs to go home, rest with his wife and kids, put the feet up, watch some TV, and just relax. And as for the rest, listen, Lucas, I don't know, I can't see. Is Lucas on the bench? Yeah, he is. I don't see Lucas. I don't want Lucas. I'd like to see Harvey White. If anyone, I'd like to see Harvey White.
Yeah.
Harvey White and Kane would be the two people I'd want to see off the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'd love to see them. I'd love to see them, so I would. But look, Brian, I do have two more guests to get to. I will come on the next one. I will give you a lot more time. But look, plug your channel, my man. Tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, they can find me at Tottenham on Tour. I'm doing a lot of stuff at the moment while I'm here with Bob Spur, so you'll see me on Bob Spur TV a lot. But I will be doing a lot on Tottenham on Tour, especially at the game on Sunday because I'm going with Ben again. Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Simeon, for your ticket. Nice. And hopefully I'll get to see a Spurs goal at the Villa game. I love the We Are Tottenham boys, and I get to spend more time with them. So it's all good. And then, I'm going to be doing quite a bit at the. I'm going to get there for 11 o'clock to be there for the changes for Spurs protest that's starting at 11. So I'll be going live a lot on Tottenham on Tour then. So I don't know if I've said Tottenham on Tour enough, but Tottenham on Tour is where you can find me.
Well, there you have it. And look, just quickly, I want your score prediction. And Jack set the level for the loudest. Come on, you Spurs. I want you to go even higher.
Yeah, I can't do I can't do that at the moment. I can only end with one thing. I'll do the loudest Levy out, that's for sure.
Well, then, I tell you what, give us a line why we should get pumped up for the game then.
So I'll give you, I'll sing you my Daniel Levy song. So that's what I'll do. I'll sing my Daniel Levy song. So I did say 2-1 to us, so I'm going to go 3-1 now. Scarlett's there.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, oh, what a night. Watching Tottenham on a Thursday night. Got no depth because our chairman's tight. What a feeling, what a night. Levy out.
Absolutely love it. Always a bundle of energy. Big up, Mr. Dagul, guys. Do get over there and check out the channel. But look, we're not slowing down. We're going to keep on moving. Moving on up. That's what they're saying, isn't it? Let's bring on the next guest. It's Josh.
Saturday, Dave. You're right, mate.
Josh, my man, how are things with you?
Mate, well, the baby's in her Spurs kit. Ciders are in the fridge. I'm ready to see us absolutely destroy this outfit tonight.
Ah, yes.
100%.
That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear.
I mean, we have to be confident because I mean the last couple of weeks it's been very, very hard to get behind the team when they're playing abysmally. We need to go out there and give it our all tonight. And we can't take any prisoners. We need a massive confidence boost, and I think the only confidence boost we're going to get is if we score 3, 4, 5. A 2-0 win isn't going to be sufficient enough. No, we should do these guys over easily.
No, it wouldn't be good enough. I agree with you. Look, we should be absolutely smashing 7 shades of shit out of these guys. Let's 100%. let's be real with it. Look, we should be playing them off the park. I'll be honest with you, the game probably should be over within 25, 30 minutes. I'm absolutely loving the confidence, Josh, and the energy you're coming.
We've got to be. Like, if we don't go into half time with a 3-0 deficit on these guys, like, we need to start asking questions. What is going wrong? Yeah. They're a Slovenian side. I've never even heard of them. I've never even heard of them until tonight.
No, I agree with you. I haven't. Sure, they were
dirt farmers, mate. Dirt farmers. That's what they are. we need to go out there and we need to prove to these fans. Well, they need to prove to us fans what we really are about. Yeah, and to do we need dominance. We need dominance. Like it's been very, very hard to be a Spurs fan the last couple of weeks, and the abysmal performances. We lose to some Portuguese outfit that we've never even heard of. We get turned over by Palace, we get done over by Arsenal, and we get done over by Chelsea. Like, it's not good for us. It's not looking good. We need a massive confidence boost. I'm happy to see Scarlett starting. I've always said I love Scarlett, and he's definitely a star in the making. But he needs the minutes. He needs the minutes to get that. The experience required to be what we require of him. Yeah. I'm expecting a Brian Hill masterclass tonight. I absolutely love Brian Hill. Like,
Brian Hill Messi, put some respect on his name.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's a mountain, mate. He's a mountain. When he first played, like the first game he started for us, I can't remember who it was against, but he showed signs of he showed traits of what Sonny was like when he first come to us, where he just find himself in these little pockets of space, just out of the blue. That's what we need. That's what we need for someone like that. And the fact that he's come out and said, "I want to be a left winger. I love playing left wing," and we're playing him on the left wing, banging. Just feed the ball to him. Feed the ball and let's get him a couple of goals of a Scarlet's forehead tonight. 100%.
No, 100%. Look, hopefully he gets the ball because look, that's what you need. I know he started against Pacos de Ferreira, but there was no ball coming his way. So hopefully it comes with him. Look, exactly. I agree with you on Brian Hill Messi. I absolutely love the guy. I'm a big backer. But look, you have Winks, you have Doherty in there, players that have let us down time and time again. What do you want to see tonight?
What do I want to see from Doherty? I want to see him only do P45 and out the door, mate. I can't stand him. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good. We should have sold him. I would rather have Serge Aurier than Doherty. That's me being perfectly honest. Doherty is when he came to us, he showed signs of being a promising footballer for us. He's being a future star, but he hasn't shown that. He hasn't shown that at all. I'm happy to see Romero starting. I love Romero, man. You think about it, we got the best rated centre back in a league that boasts about defensive football.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when asked why we paid £47 million for him, we replied with, "Well, Arsenal got Ben White for 50." Like it's just it says everything you need to know, really. Like he's a quality centre back. I think he just needs the time to adjust to the style of football that we want to play. Yeah. Joe Rodon again. Happy to see him play. It's about time he started getting his minutes in. But I mean, £18 million and he hasn't really shown up at all. Like he's not really been given the time and effort. I would have been happy sending him out on loan last season, but that didn't happen. So. Yeah. But now he's getting the minutes in. I'm happy. Reggie needs to show up. He's put in some blinding performances for us in the past, but I think the last couple of weeks he just hasn't really shown up. I think people are a little bit too harsh on Dele Alli. I'll be honest with you.
Go on, take it away. Let us know why.
I think since the beginning of the season, like last season, he was absolutely diabolical. Like I wouldn't have trusted him with my life. Like let alone, but. This season, he seems to be putting in a bit more effort than what he did last season. And I think what he needs is he just needs that kick up the arse a little bit. Is Nuno the right man to do that? I don't think so. But it's a confidence issue, I think. You can sit here and act all confident, but it's actions speak louder than words. And I don't really think he's done it enough. Skip, Oliver. I absolutely love Skippy. Absolutely love him. Why he doesn't start for us more often, I don't know. Winks is hit and miss for me. Like sometimes he can show up, sometimes the majority of the time he just doesn't. But when he does show up, he shows up really, really well.
Yeah.
That's pretty. And when we're talking about the bench as well, the names we've got on the bench, we've got Harry Kane, Lucas Moura, and the Ndombele. If any of those need to come on the pitch tonight, then we are in. Questions need to be asked.
Big time. Big time.
If Kane comes on, the only way I can see Kane coming on the pitch is for him to get a couple of goals in, like one of the previous guests said, for a confidence boost. 30 minutes in and against the game against Arsenal, Hugo Lloris had more touches than Harry Kane. And that's it says all you need to know. He's not showed up for us this season. At the moment, he's not showing us why he's worth £160 million.
I agree.
He's not at all. He's not at all. He needs to start scoring goals. And I think if we can get him on the pitch tonight, say bring him on for Scarlett in the 60th, and he can bang a couple of goals in, hopefully that's the confidence boost he needs to then start performing again in the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hope so. I hope so. And look, I agree with you, I have to say. What about Harvey White and Mole? Do you want to see them come off the bench? Maybe a bit of Harvey White off the bench, free kick specialist?
I think if we're going to bring youngsters off the bench, I think today's the perfect day to do it.
Yeah. Josh, are you surprised to not see like more under 23s in there, like McCandy and maybe Alfie Devine and player? I know they only play.
I'm surprised there's not a lot of the youngsters in the first team squad. I mean, this is ultimately our second lineup. Like it's not our go-to choice, but there are some first team names in there. Like I think Brian Hill is definitely first team potential. I'm not too fond of Galini. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Galini's really showed up enough. If that makes sense, like he's fumbled the ball a couple of times when he should have his hand stuck to that like glue, but he hasn't shown up. Doherty doesn't even belong in our squad. He should be gone out the door. But no, I'm surprised that there's not more youngsters in that squad at all. Like 100%.
No, 100%. Well, look, man, Josh, I am pushed for time, but I have to say,
no worries.
I absolutely loved your energy.
Thank you very much.
I want you to come on a lot more on these pre-match pump-ups.
Mate, do you know what? I haven't been on for a year. I've been going through some stuff, and obviously the last time I come on, I predicted that we were going to win the domestic treble, and look how that turned out.
I know. Look, hopefully everything's all right, and we can get you on a lot more, my man. I really enjoyed it, and I hope.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it, and as always, come on, you Spurs! Let's go.
Spurs. Absolutely love it. Let's have it, Josh.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
What an absolute guest, guys. He completely blew the house down there. I'd say the missus isn't happy right now. The baby's probably crying, but absolutely, what a man. What a man. But look, let's bring on the last guest of the evening, and it's Ishan. Hopefully I got that pronounced right. Did I pronounce that right, my man? Or are you on mute?
It's pronounced Ishan.
Ishan.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I can hear you all good. I can hear you all good. Look, what's your thoughts on tonight's game, my man? What's your thoughts on the lineup?
Honestly, I'm okay with the lineup. I think it's perfectly fine. Like Romero, like I kind of wanted to see him on Sunday. I don't know if he'll play against Villa. But yeah, it's good. He probably needs some more minutes under his belt. And Rodon for sure. I think Rodon and Romero should actually be our first choice center back pairing. But yeah, overall it's a good lineup. Brian Hill, I rate him pretty highly, and Dane Scarlett as well. And like we should be smacking these guys, honestly, like at least like 4-0, I'm predicting.
No, I couldn't agree more. We definitely should be absolutely spanking them. Are you excited to see Mbappe up front, Scarlett?
Yeah, like against the Pacos, in the Pacos de Ferreira game, like I don't know, he seemed like a bit, what do you call it? Like out of his depth, I guess. Like wasn't ready, but I don't know. Like he like we should win. Like even if Dane Scarlett doesn't show up at all, like he's getting some experience, some minutes under his belt, and like we should have enough to get the win here. And like we should smack these guys. If it's like a 1-0 or like even if we concede, that's like really worrying, honestly.
I can tell you're dying to lay down a bit of smack talk, so go on, give it, my man. Give a bit of smack talk out there to them.
I mean, yeah, like I'm predicting 4-0, honestly, like 4-0. And yeah, another thing with Lo Celso, I don't think the right wing is his best position, to be honest. I've heard that like he's best as like a number 10, but we're like playing a 4-3-3 formation, so I'm not sure like what's like Nuno's plans.
Yeah. Look, I think it's more or less just to fit him in there and give him game time at the minute. Look, of course, Dele Alli making his 50th European appearance tonight, special night for him, captain as well. What's your thoughts on Dele Alli? He really is one that splits the fan base.
Yeah, I think Dele is like probably the most polarizing player in like the whole squad. Like, you know, to be honest, I think that like during the start of the season, like against Man City, and like he had a good game against Wolves where he scored the penalty. Like, you know, like he has some good games, but then like against Arsenal and like he just didn't show up. So I'm not sure what's going on. Like he's adjusting his game as like, you know, like sort of as a box to box midfielder, and it's good to see him put in defensive effort. But like the final third product is just not there for him, and I don't know why. I think maybe this game, if he scores like a banger or something, gets the confidence up, we can see the old Dele. Like I know we've been saying this for like years. We want the old Dele back, but you know, yeah, it's a good moment for him. I'm fine with him.
Look, what about Brian Hill? First of all, are you a believer?
Oh, 100%. I'm a believer. Like this guy is only 20 years old. Like he's just a year older than me, and like he's magical. Like his left foot is seriously magical. He has like you can already see, like technically he's very refined, especially with the ball at his feet, his dribbling, and he's really quick. Like he has all the tools to become a top class winger. I'm being serious. Like he's just a next level talent.
No, he definitely is. He definitely is. But look, Ishan, I'm so sorry, my man. We are a bit pushed for time. But look,
I saw that you didn't have much time.
If you call in next week, I'll get you. If you get on early, I'll get you on first, and I'll give you a bit more time, my man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, all good.
But look, before you go,
yeah, all good.
We already got your score prediction. Tell us why we need to be pumped up for today's game, and I need you to be even louder than Josh with your biggest "Come on, you Spurs."
Okay, as to why we should be pumped up, I love, like, there's a bunch of youngsters, and I'd love to see them play and show what they're all about. And come on, you Spurs!
Absolutely love it, Ishan. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for coming on, my man. And come on the pre-match pump up, or come on the post-match fan show as well, my man. And big yourself up. Enjoy your evening.
Post-match. Okay, thank you.
Big up, big up. Well, guys, see you. Look, guys, there we have it. You know, another great pre-match pump-up. Look, me, myself, I'm going to go with a 5-0 Tottenham. I'm going to go with Dane Mbappe with 2. I'm going to go with Gil Messi to get 2. And I'm going to go with maybe Dele Alli to mark off his 50th European appearance with a goal. Look, make sure you stay tuned for the watch-along, guys, with Ben and Sim. But what I will say to you quickly before I do end off is, guys, cancel your Netflix or your Amazon. Get the We Are Tottenham TV membership. You know, it honestly shows every single day of the week for all you guys to come on and have your say on all things Tottenham. Honestly, they probably should be charging for counselling fees at this stage with us Spurs fans going on there at the minute, you know. But look, they do a great job. So make sure you stay tuned for the watch-along coming up with Ben and Sim, who'll be taking you all the way through to the post-match fan show. Make sure you smash the like on the stream, guys. Subscribe on the channel. The big push for 100k is on. If you've enjoyed what I've had to say, if you've enjoyed me hosting here today, do get over to the Irish Hotspur and smash the subscribe button on that channel as well. But look, what I will say is when I saw his face, I said, I'm a believer. Come on, you Spurs. Let's have it. The road to Tirana starts today, and we will be there come the final in May. Come on, you Spurs.